Full time at the Butts Park Arena on the opening night of the United Counties League Premier Division South season. Coventry United 0, Aylestone Park 1. We're here with United's Commander-in-Chief, Ellis Alleyne. Ellis, a tight match but not the start that we wanted. What are your thoughts on the opening game?
No, certainly not the start we wanted. I think we did start the game in a bit of a lacklustre way, if you like. Having said that though, we were still we were organised, but we just weren't applying the pressure we needed to. We weren't really getting lads' heads down and grafting to win the ball back. And even having said that, didn't really create too much. Had a few half moments, but yeah, not the start to the game we'd have wanted. Went in at half time, said what we needed to say, and to be fair, we come out second half and we put up a bit more of a fight. We're driving the team forward. We were a little bit more composed in possession. We worked harder off the ball, had to make a few changes to personnel in certain areas, which injected a bit of speed into what we were doing. And I think the second half we were really, really good. And it was a very tight game. And the game was settled by an unreal free kick, by the way, from Samuels. And look, when you lose a game to a goal like that, it is what it is. You just got to take it on the chin. We're not going to talk about the fact that it wasn't a free kick, by the way, but it was a great goal.
Well, I think again on that, because we are going to be asking you a little bit about that later on in the interview. But given it was such a close game between two sides who are going to be wanting to be up there towards the top of the table come the end of the season, we all predicted this to be a very tight title fight between 5, 6, maybe even 7 teams.
Yeah.
Will we prove right tonight?
Yeah, look, it's going to be tight. We know there's going to be probably 6 or 7, I would say, teams that are going to be all going for it. I would say Aylestone Park are going to be right up there. Look, they've lost out in the playoffs 2 years in a row. These are no mugs, and they've come here and they've put up a good shift. They've worked hard. You've had lads pulling up the cramp, after 60, 70 minutes. That's how hard they were working. But also that's kind of an achievement of ours, if you like, because we have at times dug in and we have caused them problems and we have caused them moments to worry and to panic. And they've had to go into the dark arts a little bit towards the end. They'd completely dropped off and it was all us, but we just didn't find that final ball, we didn't find that killer pass, we didn't find that chance that we needed.
As far as opportunities go to get the ball rolling on the score sheet, there were very limited chances for both teams. As you say, it was a moment of absolute magic from Samuels, which opened the scoring. Our best chance probably came in injury time through Cameron Dunn's spectacular late strike. Was it down to ourselves not maybe penetrating as well as we could have, or was it simply down to Aylestone being a rock at the back? Yeah,
I think, do you know what, when you're 1-0 down, you start to make rash decisions. I think up until that goal, it was a very cagey game. It was swings and no one really had control. It was just a battle. When you go 1-0 down, that's when your mentality kicks in. Do you stick to the principles and try and play and find your way back into the game, or do you go a little bit more route one and start chasing things? And I think that's what some of us did tonight. We tried to force things that probably weren't on. Instead of keeping it simple and playing a wide pass for a ball in the box or a little bit of intricate football, we tried to find that killer pass too soon, and that's where it's broke down. But yeah, we've learnt a lot. We have learnt a lot. I think we know in terms of the balance that we put out there tonight, in terms of the starting lineup, we know what that looks like now against a real good opponent. So yeah, we take the positives away from it.
Well, the free kick, as mesmeric as it was, should it have been given? I mean, there seemed to be a lot of confusion between the match officials, between an infringement from Coventry United and an infringement from Aylestone. Where do you sit on it?
Well, the very fact that the referee blew and gave it our way, we're talking 15-20 minutes into the half, not straight after half time. We're talking 15-20 minutes after. He knows which way both teams are going. He gave the free kick our way. Then I had to think about it. There's a few arms up in the air. We've set the ball down to take the free kick. Then he's changed his mind. And I don't know where that call come from. I don't believe the lino flagged or anyone assisted him. But then he's changed his mind. And lo and behold, they've stuck it in the back of the net. So, look, it's a great free kick. We've lost the game to that free kick. But ultimately, I don't believe it was a foul. I think 2 people went up to challenge for the ball. The referee seen something. I don't think he really knows what he saw, if I'm honest with you. And then give the free kick to them after giving it to us previously. It doesn't really make any sense. But look, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. We can't control it. We've just got to take it on the chin and move on.
I think that's going to be a replay we're going to be watching over and over again on the highlights. Will this defeat galvanise the squad ahead of what, again, is going to be another difficult match against Hinckley on Wednesday night? Yeah,
we know all about Hinckley. Played them twice last season. Here, beat them. Away, they beat us. They've got a good group of lads, a hard-working, honest group of lads. But look, that that's not our finished article. That's not our finished article. Look, we've got good players. We've got good players throughout the squad. We've got a lot of depth, and we've got 2 players obviously not out tonight in terms of Scotty and Riley to come back in. We have got a lot of depth in the squad. We will, have to make a few little changes, little tweaks, and we've got to be here Wednesday night, ready to go hell for leather, if I'm honest, because we can't afford to go 2 on the spin without a win.
Well, 1 game down, 37 to go. There's a long way to go. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.